Hello YouTubers, and welcome to my review of Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, the sequel to the 1995 film Jumanji. To be honest with you, this was a sequel that I wasn't really keen on having. It was a sequel that I didn't want, especially after the timing of all of these things. It's only been a few years since Robin Williams passed away, so when the news came about that we're going to get a sequel to this film, you can imagine I wasn't really happy about it. But then 2017 came along, and here we go, we got a sequel, Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. This sequel stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because it seems like every film these days stars him. You've got a skyscraper film, you've got all these Fast and Furious films. Seems to be in everything. We also have Kevin Hart, who's very well known over in America. We have Jack Black, who I am a real admirer of his work, especially with Tenacious D, and with all his films like School of Rock, which I might do a review of one day. We shall wait and see. He also has his own YouTube channel as well, Jumanji Games. Sorry, no gaming videos this week. And we also have Karen Gillan. You don't know who Karen Gillan is? Well, she's right here. She's on this poster right here. Because, as many of you will know, she played Amy Pond in Doctor Who, which is a programme that I watch from time to time. You may have seen it on my YouTube channel, you know. So yeah, it's got quite a good cast, this film. This takes place in like a universe of a video game. So it's not like a board game this time around, it's a video game. I mean, let's face it, everybody is playing video games these days. Look behind me here, all this setup I have, the video game consoles I have. You know, this day and age I hardly ever think about board games. So I think it was a good move of the producers to do that. And basically what happens is school kids get teleported into the video game. They play these video game characters and they have the likenesses of the actors that I just told you about. So you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you have Kevin Hart, you have Karen Gillan, and you have Jack Black. And they all have the pros and cons in the video game, because video games with certain characters have the pros and cons. Some can not jump high, some can't run very fast, etc, etc. And that's pretty much it. The whole movie takes place in this video game world. Lots of things happen, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It did engage me for a while. I don't know if it's because I grew up with the first film, but I don't remember this film as much, probably because it's quite new and I've not watched it that many times compared to the original film. Because the original film I watched religiously when I was a child. You will not believe the amount of times I watched Jumanji as a kid. I would put on the video recorder, watch it on VHS, as soon as I'm done, rewind it, let's watch it again. It was all of those, and then films like Toy Story, you know, all the type of things that I watched when I was a kid. So, do I think that this is a good sequel after all of these years? Does it tarnish anything from the original film? Is it anything like the original film? And I can safely say, no. It's not like the original film. And no, it does not tarnish the original either. Despite this being a sequel, having the same name and all, there are a lot of things to admire about this film. The action, the settings in the jungles, and the special effects are very good. So yeah, it has a one-up on that original in that front, because the original has quite dodgy special effects, so you know. It's kind of good that you have some good special effects in this film. And for what it's worth, I quite like the main characters, and yeah, the story's quite simple, but at the end of the day it's a family film. You want it to be simple. You don't want it to be overcomplicated like other films since Star Wars The Last Jedi, because, you know, I'm not really a big fan of that film, as some of you may know. And that film just needs to overcomplicate films. But I digress. This film is unique in many ways. It's not a sequel that tries to be the original. It is like its own film. You can go into this film without even having any prior knowledge about Jumanji, having watched the original film. This film is a good film on its own. It doesn't need to be a sequel, but it just so happens it is. There's little tiny references to the first film in there, which I quite like as well. Alan Parrish does get mentioned in this film, which is really nice. They had to mention him, seeing as Robin Williams was one of the greatest things, probably the best thing about Jumanji, because, you know, Robin Williams was one of those actors that I grew up, so he had to be mentioned in some way. So it was great that the character of Alan Parrish did get a mention. And this film delivered. So, would I say that I recommend this film? Yes, I would say that. Did it meet my expectations? No, it didn't meet my expectations. I'd say it was probably better than my expectations. It was actually a surprise for me, because I thought that this was going to be a disaster of a film. I really did. I'm not a great fan of The Rock, but I'll give him his due. He's great in this film, and everyone else is great. I mean, obviously Jack Black was going to be great, and Karen Gillan kicks ass in this film, and Kevin Hart, he provides quite a good role as well. And then you got all the other characters in this film. So, yeah, the rating I give this would be an 8 out of 10. I'd say it'd be on par, if not just a little bit below the first film for me. Some may prefer this to the original film, and if that's the case, then that is great for you. I think it's because, as I said, I grew up with the original, so it's a lot closer to me, it's a lot closer to my heart than what this film can be, seeing as this film is still relatively new. So for that regard, I'm going to say that I prefer the first film, but this film is still a good film. I do recommend that you check this out, and the proof that it's done well is it did very well at box office. It did very well review wise, and I've just given it another good review. And we're getting another sequel to this film, which is going to be entitled Jumanji The Next Level, which will be coming out towards the end of this year. So I might watch that, I might do a review of that, I don't know yet. My schedule is pretty busy, so fingers crossed. And that will be all for now, so thank you very much for watching this movie review of Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. Good movie, I recommend it. Stay tuned for more on this channel by subscribing to me, and I shall see you next time. Take care guys, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye for now.